Every year in this country, tens of thousands of calls for help go out from pilots of small planes in distress. Thousands of emergency landings are made, many ending in tragedy. A local cameraman taped most of this story as it was happening on March 12th, 1985.
Second-generation stunt pilot Jim Moser had been friends with Scott Gordon ever since teaching him how to fly at the age of 16. Now, at 25, Scott was a corporate jet pilot visiting the St. Augustine Airport on his day off.
He happened to be down here, and I asked him if he wanted to go test fly an airplane for me to just do a little fun flying. He said sure, so Scott went to the maintenance shop and looked the airplane over and got in it and took off.
St. Augustine Unicom, or traffic 06 hotels and party 13.
Once he got in the air, he flew the airplane around 15 or 20 minutes. When he came back into land, he lowered the landing gear. In the airplane, we have 3 little green lights that tell us when the wheels are down. Scott lowered the landing gear, and only 2 lights came on.
St. Augustine Unicom, 06 Hotel, over.
06 Hotel, go ahead.
Could you get Jim for me? I think we got a problem with the airplane.
The hope was that the problem was just a burned-out indicator light. But after half an hour of testing, they were forced to accept that it was something more serious. One of the 2 main wheels on the plane's landing gear would not come down.
Scott, you got the right one up.
How about how's the fuel on board? Looks good right now. We got about 2 hours.
If he would have had to make a landing with 2 wheels down and 1 wheel retracted, it could definitely like cartwheel an airplane or tear up the airplane and injure Scott.
Mechanic Joe Lippo joined Jim as he flew another plane directly underneath Scott's. They hoped that by finding the cause of the problem, they could solve it, but they could not.
You see anything? Not a thing. It comes out of the well and then stops.
Line 1, this is Tower. We have a Piper that has a problem with its right main gear. Dispatch the trucks to midfield point.
The St. Augustine Fire Department and airport crash fire units responded immediately.
Our choices at that time were to bring all the wheels back up and land the airplane on the belly or without the gear, or maybe try to be a little bit more creative and see if there wasn't a way to save damage to the airplane or possibly to the pilot.
Jim had got some guys together and got the idea of the trailer. So he pulled the trailer up to another airplane out there just like it, side by side, trying to look at sizes and differences and could that wing fit on the trailer and this and that, and it all looked good.
Scott, I'm going to get the pickup truck and a flatbed trailer and some foam.
What we decided to do was just see if the truck could tow the trailer fast enough where Scott could actually land and let the wing rest down on the trailer. I'm just going to go as fast as I can go, and you just see what it looked like to you, okay?
Okay, great.
If the plane flew too slowly, it would not stay airborne. The truck and its heavy trailer would have to go 90 miles an hour to keep up with it.
If you can go ahead and come back in and give me full flaps as slow as you can fly and see if you can't pace on it, see how it feels to you. Let's make this a dry run.
After 2 passes to synchronize speeds, they made an attempt to land the wing on the trailer.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to work there. I can't get that slow. We're going to have to try something else.
After 3 passes, we decided that the truck didn't have enough power, we couldn't get the speeds right, and it would probably put Scott and us maybe in more danger.
And he went by that one slow time where he's just creeping by the back of the truck over to the side. It was right there. It was, you know, that's what I told Jim. I said, it's right there. Get him to do it again and I'll pull it down. And then that's when Jim's gear started grinding and came up with a car, which was a perfect idea.
We didn't want to drive underneath there and then try to get Scott to lower down or come lower and things. We wanted to have everything set so I could get Joe in there and see if he could get his hand on it and get out.
Jim had bought the car only the day before.
And we'll be coming up from behind you, and I'll adjust some altitudes as we go. Okay, Jim, sounds good.
Our major concern was when we were under the wing, if Scott would hit some turbulence or drop down on top of Joe or hit the car. We were worried about the wing coming down more than anything else.
first attempt fails. The runway is so short, by the time the car gets up to 90, Joe has less than 45 seconds to pull down the wheel.
When I couldn't keep my eyes open and my mouth kept blowing open and, you know, I could feel my shirt buttons coming unloose and things like that, I thought to myself, well, let's be alert. My heart was beating as fast as it's ever beaten, I think.
Scott circles the field once and lands safely.
Worst case scenario, the airplane could have hit first Joe, then the car, and we could have ended up in a major accident. But it just worked together.
Oh, man.
See what
good boy, Scotty.
Cotton, if it wouldn't have been for you, I wouldn't even try that one.
That was great. I won't ask you to test fly nothing now. I don't even know you.
Joe got so excited, the only damage we did to anything was Joe left his fingerprints in the top of my sunroof on the frame where the windshield is by banging on the top of it. It was kind of a little joke after we had the car. The only damage we did was Joe's fingerprints, and that, I think, was the level that, the excitement level that was really happening.
Scott never got the airplane in a dangerous situation, too slow, too fast, too close, nothing. He did exactly what he was told by Jim on the radio to the T.
Though Joe Lippo had never met Scott Gordon before, he risked his life for him. 4 years later, Scott is a commercial pilot flying big jets for a major airline out of Jacksonville.
I really didn't think that we were actually going to pull this off. I figured we'd try it and do a few runs and say, no, this is just too crazy. All three of us actually could have been injured easily, especially Joe, and he really stuck his neck out to get underneath that airplane and save the day.